Hello, I'm a gamer who's a guy named Gary, and I've been playing Rivals of Aether for a while, and I've been enjoying it so far. The controls feel really nice, and the movement is great in the game. I feel free controlling with this game, and I enjoy playing it. I just need to change my controls, and I'll be ready to play. Okay, perfect. Oh yeah, I'll play with keyboard. What's so bad about that? I like the controller layout. So, controllers. They are the most important part of games. It allows people to, well, play the game. Imagine trying to play a movie without the control panel, or using a car without a steering wheel. Controllers let you control menus and characters in your game. But how about the feel controller? How does your controller layout look? I won't be talking about controllers themselves. That's another time to talk about. I'm talking about the design/layout of controllers. I feel the layout of controllers is important of playing the game, and I just want to talk about it. It's all about your comfortability, you know. The one that comes to mind is the grip layout. You know it when you see it. Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Pro Controller, Steam controllers, everyone knows this layout, and people love it. Grips on the side to grasp the controller and fit with your hands to grab and play. Every controller has this grip layout, and it's been here for a long time. Nope, nuh-uh, close. There we go. It started with the Sega Genesis, having those two little stubs out down below. Later and later, it would be what all controllers look like now. The grips allow you to hold the controller nicely while allowing you to use the trigger buttons and the face buttons at the same time. A nice layout for your comfort needs. Some controllers changed this layout with their buttons and stick placement. Xbox and Switch Pro controllers have somewhat the same layout, just with different button placements and designs. PlayStation decided to have the analog sticks next to each other, which I don't mind. They're far enough so the thumbs don't touch, but close enough not to spread my hands out. A layout I would use for 2D platforming is the SNES controller. Perfect layout. Having enough buttons for 2D platformers and having a nice, slick, smooth curvature. Beautiful D-pad. And the buttons just feel nice and clicky. Ooh, it feels so good. Love it. For 3D platformers, it doesn't really matter which modern controller I would use. Just give me one of them and I'll work with it. N64, go back to the designer. What is this? Literally, what is this? This is what I'm supposed to use to play your games? This is bad. The only time I would want to have my hand in the middle is if I wanted to use a joystick. Don't take that out of context! I've experienced using the Nintendo 64 controller twice in my life, and I'm happy with that. Next we have the fighter stick. This is mostly used for fighting games such as Street Fighter and Guilty Gear. Famous for pro 2D fighting games. Easy to hit light, medium, and heavy attacks with an omnidirectional stick to do motion inputs. I haven't used this layout yet, but I feel it would be nice with the big buttons and the joystick. I see why lots of fighting game players use this layout, and the case is customizable with other plates. I don't know if I would use this for all fighting games. I'm used to using the gripped controllers for fighting games. I feel I would use this layout for Tekken or something more complex. One problem I have though is how big the controller is. Imagine having to travel with this controller. People would know why you have such a big pad. Overall, this seems like a good layout for fighting games. Next we have the keyboard layout. The keyboard. Everyone has used a keyboard before. It's like a fighter stick, but without the fighter stick and more buttons. The best, in my opinion, for shooter games all around. Good for MMOs and first-person games. Though I want to talk about how people put the keyboard and mouse around them. I've seen slightly turned and 90 degrees turned, keyboards pushed back, monitor up close, keyboard pulled up, the monitor pushed back. I'm curious how you guys have your keyboard laid out. Leave a comment and tell me. But for other genres, using a keyboard, I don't know about that. If I'm forced to play with keyboard controls, I'm okay with that, but given the choice between controller and keyboard, I would probably go with the controller. The controller layout is better for most video games. The keyboard can work, it's just I prefer using the controller in most video games. Next we have phone controls. I know, talking about the phone, huh? These can be very simple or whoa. Why do game devs need to make complicated controls for your phone? All those buttons shouldn't be crammed on your screen. It makes it worse for the gameplay. Why can't it just be 2 buttons and a thumb pad? It is way simpler and does not obscure the screen or show the layout quickly and let people know where to tap before the game begins. This layout used to be fun when the iPhone came out. Like, holy shit! I can use my fingers as controllers? This is the coolest thing ever! Now it's just an average day in the wild. Do something cooler with mobile game. Make some cool control design that surprises me instead of stupid app build that has been done before. Also, who's doing major gaming on your phone? I wasn't talking to you! Next, we have VR controllers. Ooh. I think the only one I really played with was the Meta Quest one. I have the Meta Quest 2, and those controls feel pretty good. I get it, you're trying to like copy your hands. You can't really copy that with controllers. I've also played around with valves, and it definitely does feel nice. Good for like sticks. If you want to do like swords, I don't know. It could have been worse. It definitely could have, but it definitely does work. And those were the controller layouts I wanted to talk about today. I haven't seen anyone talking about layouts before, and I want to talk about them because it's fun. If you made it to the end of the video, congratulations, you get a star! And for the others,
Howdy, partner. Excuse me, coming through, pardon me.
they aren't here, so who cares? Thanks for watching, and have a good one, folks.
Shut your